Hey everybody, so it's June, that means it's Pride Month, and today I'm here to recommend a stack of books for you to read this month and beyond. So, without further ado, let's get started. Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. It's Russell with Ink and Paper Blog. How are you doing today? As always, I hope you're happy, I hope you're healthy, I hope you're safe, and I hope you're reading an amazing book or two or three or four. It has been very, very busy. As always, I feel like the last few years I keep saying that, but it has not slowed down. I cannot believe it's June. I cannot believe almost half of the year is over, but I have been reading some amazing books, and today I'm here to help you with your Pride TBR. So without further ado, get out your pen, your paper, your Goodreads, however you keep track of that TBR. If you are so able, let's get these books from your local independent bookstore, or if you're a library user, have your library get you a copy as soon as possible. The first book I want to tell you about is Shae by Maren. This is out from Algonquin Books. This is the story of Shae and Cam. They're about 16 years old when they meet. They live in West Virginia, very small town. They meet, they start this friendship, and then this friendship turns into more, and eventually Shae winds up getting pregnant. As she's about to have the baby, Cam starts to try on and wear some of Shae's clothes and realizes that they are transitioning into being a woman. After the birth of the baby, Shae sort of gets addicted to opiates, and Cam is continuing their journey into finding out the person they are as they transition in sort of rural West Virginia. You know, opiates in the Appalachians, that's sort of a story that we've heard, but this is about two young people trying to find out who they are and overcome all the obstacles in their way. So that is Shae by Maren, and this is out from Algonquin Books. The second book I want to tell you about is The Guncle Abroad by Stephen Rowley, out from Putnam. Now, The Guncle was one of my favorite summer reads a couple of years ago, and I am so excited that we are back with Patrick. I mean, The Guncle was hilarious, and if you listen to the audiobook, Stephen Rowley reads it, and it's just absolutely fantastic. In this one, it's a continuation where he and his niece and nephew go to travel abroad, and they go on a journey and all of that kind of stuff. You know what it's going to be. It's going to be family, it's going to be funny, it's going to be heart-touching, all of that kind of stuff, and it's so lovely that we're back in the world of The Guncle. So that's The Guncle Abroad by Stephen Rowley, out from Putnam Books. Next on this list is a book that I read earlier this year, but I want to make sure it's on everybody's radar, and that's All the World Beside by Garrard Conley, out from Riverhead Books. Now, this book is very interesting. So it's set in Cana, C-A-N-A, Massachusetts, and it's set during Puritan England times, and it's really the story of the preacher of the town and a doctor and how their relationship with each other, their sort of undeniable attraction to one another and the relationship they wish they can have, how that affects not only the town but their family, themselves, and the decisions they make. This book reads like sort of in that Victorian, very like deep, descriptive, very, I don't know how to explain it, but if you've read The Scarlet Letter, you'll know what I mean. It has that, and I say Victorian, and I know The Scarlet Letter isn't Victorian, but it just had that feel of like a Dickens novel to me. I just loved the writing. I loved the relationships. It is a little bit more on the dark side if that's not what you want for Pride Month, but it is definitely a novel I think more people should be reading. So that's All the World Beside by Garrard Conley, and this is out from Riverhead Books. Okay, another book that I read that I absolutely loved is In Tongues by Thomas Grattan. This is out from MCD, FSG. I just love to say that, so I say that. This is a story of a young man who, his life is sort of up in turmoil. His boyfriend has left him, so he just steals a bit of money and winds up in New York and doesn't really know what the world has in store for him. What winds up happening is he gets a job at a bar, and he winds up meeting this pretty influential gay couple that run this art gallery. And the story just goes from there about how his relationship with this couple and the dynamics of it change his perceptions of the world and sort of the decisions he makes. Not all of them good, not all of them bad. His relationships with other people, like his father, who is found religion late in life. He goes to visit him, and his father sort of tries to convert him and also tries to fix him, and how that sort of works out, and all of the homophobia that comes with religion is sort of brought to the surface. But really, this is a story of a young man just figuring out who he wants to be and where he wants to go. I found the end of this book very poignant. I was like in tears, and the main character makes some very interesting choices, but the pages turned. I was very, very into it, and that's an amazing way to read a book. So that's In Tongues by Thomas Grattan, out from MCD. Okay. Next is a book that is actually next up on my TBR, and that is Blessings by Chukwuebuka, Ibeh, and I am so sorry. I am destroying this beautiful Nigerian name. This book actually just came out from DoubleDay here in the US in the month of June, and this is the story of a young Nigerian boy whose father one day finds him in an intimate embrace with a man who is living in their home and sends him away to boarding school. And it's about him going to boarding school and sort of having to hide who he is and figure out how to live in that world. And it's also the story of his mother, who doesn't really know why her son was sent away, and her trying to figure out what's going on in her world as well. And, you know, in Nigeria, it says, as Nigeria teeters on the brink of criminalization for same-sex relationship, the young boy's life, or the life he wants to live, becomes even further out of reach than ever before. So, it's funny. The back of it says, Moonlight Meets Purple Hibiscus. And both of those, that movie is phenomenal and that book is phenomenal. So if you need any other recommendations, that's Blessings by Chukwuebuka, Ibeh, and this is out from DoubleDay. It came out in the month of June. So now we're going to go for a little nonfiction for you and recommend the memoir Another World for Love by Carvell Wallace. This is also out from MCD. This is the story of Wallace. This is really the story of Carvell Wallace. He is a journalist by trade, and he has built a career around writing profiles. And in this one, he sort of dives into his own life. I like how it says here, he dives to, now he turns the focus on himself, examining his own life and the circumstances that have framed it. To make sense of this, of seeking refuge from homelessness with his young single mother, living in the ghostly white Pennsylvania town, becoming a partner and a parent, raising two teenagers in what feels like a collapsing world. So very poignant. I have a feeling there's going to be tears. That's Another Word for Love by Carvell Wallace, out from MCD. Okay. I can't do a Pride recommendation video without throwing in a little gay YA, because they're just sort of like the wonderful treats that I give myself when I just want good, warm hugs of the heart. So I'm going to recommend The Breakup List by Abid Khorram. This is out from Dial. You may remember Abid. He wrote Darius, what is it? Help me out here. Darius the Great is Not Okay, and the sequel to that, which I absolutely loved. And this one, I actually have read this one. This is so charming, so charming. This is the story of a young boy who is very, very much involved in the theater at school. And one day he, the sort of very popular jock boy, tries out for the school musical, and it's about their relationship. There's a lot of really good stuff in here. Our main character is hearing impaired, and there's a lot of dynamic between him and his family and their unwillingness to learn sign. And his dynamic is sort of someone who has to ask people to repeat things and keep him in the conversation. It's about friendship. It's about romance. It's about so much, and it is so wonderful. And at the end, I just absolutely loved it. So highly recommend The Breakup Lists by Abid Khorram, out from Dial. Okay. The last three books are going to be my recommendations in lesbian literature. We're going to go a little fantasy at first with Can't Spell Treason Without T, and this is by Rebecca Thorne. This is out from Bramble, and this is the story of Reina and Conte. I'm not exactly sure how to say Kianth, but one is part of the Queen's Guard. She is like this warrior. She guards the queen, and the other is the most powerful sorceress in the world, mage in the world. Well, the mage winds up getting kidnapped, and she's sort of over it, and she decides she wants to move away, and they want to open a bookshop and serve tea. The warrior decides, I'm tired of the queen. The queen is self-centered, so they go there, and it's just about their lives around that. It says on the back that if you liked Legends and Lattes, this will be similar for you. I just like a good cozy romance with fantasy with a twist. Does that make sense? So that's Can't Spell Treason Without T by Rebecca Thorne, and this is out from Bramble. Okay. Last two books that I am going to recommend are both from Catapult. The first one is A Good Happy Girl by Marissa Higgins. And this is the story of Helen. Helen is an attorney. I love that it says a jittery attorney with a self-destructive streak. She realizes her parents have committed a crime, and she's trying to figure out what to do about that. And in you know what I want to say here, compartmentalizing that, she starts a relationship with this lesbian couple. And as she starts to do that, the lesbian couple become more and more important and more intrusive into her history and the things that she's trying to hide. While her father is like trying to get out of prison, and Helen starts to realize she has some what's the word I'm looking for? She has some, bargaining chips, I guess would be the word, or something like that, to use against her father to get answers for the past. So this is the story of a woman just trying to figure out what's going on. That's A Good Happy Girl by Marissa Higgins, and that's out from Catapult. And last but not least in this recommendation video is These Letters End in Tears by Mushi Tiji Zaveri. I'm totally butchering that. This book is actually set in Cameroon, and this is the story of Bessem and Fatima. Bessem sees Fatima playing soccer one day, and it's automatic attraction. The ball comes over, they look at each other, and, sparks fly. However, in Cameroon, a country where same-sex relationships are punishable by law, there's a lot stacked against these two young women. And so when Fatima's older brother finds out about it, he attacks them, and it turns into a police raid on the local gay bar, and things just start to go from there. So I have a feeling any book that tells you that it's going to end in tears is likely going to end in tears. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't pick up These Letters End in Tears by I'm sorry. I'm going to just put it up here again. Sorry, I cannot say the name correctly. But this is an amazing stack of books that I hope you pick up every single one of them. I hope you read them all. And I hope that you're having an amazing Pride. Celebrate yourself. Celebrate those you love. And as always, if you're a return subscriber, I couldn't do this without you. If you are new to my channel, I wish you the happiest of hellos, and I hope you hit subscribe and stay around a little bit longer. As always, I encourage you to read globally, shop locally, and until next time, I wish you happy reading. Bye, everybody.